did something to her or not, where is she?
I don't know where she's at, Mitch. I don't.
Dude, I really wish I could believe you. The phones, the deceptiveness, the witnesses, the chain of events. I mean, I'm a reasonable guy, but the evidence is overwhelming.
Meet 45-year-old Juan Gonzalez, a murderer putting on his A-game to trick detectives. But this is only the first step in faking his own wife's death story with a plan so convincing that detectives have no choice but to believe him.
If you did it, you better have some type of remorse, and you better figure out how to fix this.
I got home and she was laying on the kitchen. I turned her over and she had a cut right here. That's how I found her.
It's not your fault if she did something to herself. People do strange things.
I don't know what she did to herself.
Okay.
On May 11, 2016, the Midland Police Department received a concerning call from 45-year-old Juan Gonzalez reporting his wife, 41-year-old Kathy Lujan, as missing. Initially, he seemed like a concerned husband, frantic with worry over the disappearance of his wife and the well-being of his two children, Nate and Lee. But there was more to his relationship than met the eye, as he explained to officers when they first spoke to him.
Well then, here a few months ago, I started noticing like she would hide her phone, she put a password on her phone, things like that. And I could walk in on her, she'd be on the phone and she'd be like, okay, let me let you go. And it started getting to where here recently, like I'd ask her, who you talking to? None of your business,
Kathy was cheating, with two men no less. The first suspects were these two individuals that Kathy was romantically involved with, but their alibis were airtight, and they were most definitely not with her on the day of her disappearance. However, Juan stated something odd during his initial contact with the officers.
She said she's going to stay with a friend. It's there in the text messages.
Okay.
And I said
Did you say what friend she's going to stay, or just a friend?
A friend, or Carmel Wayne. Anyway, so I said, with who, Carmel? And she said, it's none of your business. So then I left her alone.
So who was lying? The two men or Juan? Fortunately, authorities would find their answer just days later. Juan started draining Kathy's bank accounts, shooting him to the top of the suspect list. Not only that, but a forensic analysis of Juan's truck showed there were bloodstains in the back. Whatever happened to Kathy wasn't as simple as her disappearing. Undoubtedly, he was the culprit, but why would he ruin his 20-year-old marriage? And what actually happened to Kathy? To answer these questions, Juan was brought in for an interview on May 24, 2016, where he would not only take the cake for the most suspicious, but also the most terribly dressed. The following footage has been provided to us by the Midland Police Department, Texas, via FOIA request.
Okay, Juan, what I want to do is talk to you about what I found about your wife. Are you willing to talk to me and discuss what's going on?
Yeah.
Okay. Like I had told you, I did find out, I did a bunch of research. I had gone to HEB, not just that, but also went to the cookie place where you and your wife worked, and did a lot of research, and I found out that she did have a double life. And she kept secrets from you, but she also kept secrets. She had two lovers.
Yeah, I knew that already.
Yes, and she kept secrets between them too. Mm-hmm. Okay? And on Wednesday, the day that she left, I need to go back and revisit and make sure I have all my bases covered on what exactly happened that morning. You said Wednesday, she goes in from what time to what time at HEB?
She was working that day. She went in at 2 in the morning.
Okay.
Supposed to be till 10:30, but she doesn't ever get off at that time.
Okay. And she works in the bakery as the assistant manager?
Mm-hmm. Assistant lead manager.
Okay, what time did you wake up? Were you awake when she left that morning? Or she leave without you even knowing it?
I get up to check if I wake up and she's gone already,
mm-hmm.
I wake up to make sure the front door is locked, like the screen door and the front door.
Okay.
Which, I mean, when I got up, it was already 6 o'clock because I get up to go to work at 7 in the morning.
Okay. So when she left to go to work at 2 a.m., were you up or asleep?
I was up.
Okay. What time did she leave?
She left early, like I told you that day. Mm-hmm. She had been leaving way before it was time to go. She probably left like 1:15,
1:30.
Okay. And she left in what vehicle?
The car.
Okay, that's the car she always drives, the black one, that Chevy
The
Malibu.
We drive both of them, but when she's working, she drives the Malibu.
Okay. So you think she left at 1:15, 1:30. She left early, and she's supposed to be at work at HEB at 2 a.m. Okay, and then you said you got up at 6 a.m. Did y'all talk anymore between 1:15 or let's just say 1:15 and 6, or was it
Texting.
Oh,
'cause,
texting.
she was supposed to come and get me that morning to make sure he made it to daycare, so that I wasn't late for work.
Okay.
I remember. Yeah, I told you that too. That day that way I'm not late to work because I have to be there at 7. So she takes me to daycare, and either she takes Nate to school or Nate walks.
Okay.
So.
On that day, you said there was some texting between 1:15 till 6 a.m. About what time did you go to sleep?
It was off and on. It was off and on. Like every time she leaves the house, I can't sleep right. You know, so it's off and on. I'm either up every 30, awake, not up, moving around, awake.
Right.
Like I'll wake up, tossing and turning every 30 minutes, every hour until we get up. Because Lee's asleep with me in the bed at that time.
Okay. He sleeps with both of y'all, correct? And then Nathan has his own. Nate has his own room just right across the hall.
Yeah.
Okay. So about 6 a.m. you get up, and did y'all already make arrangements through text or by phone?
Through text.
Okay. She was going to come pick up.
She was gonna be at the house at 6:45.
Okay. She's going to take Nate to school, or did he take the bus that day? Do you remember?
Sometimes he takes the bus, sometimes he walks. I don't remember that day. But it's not that I don't remember, I don't know because I'm gone already. I
Okay.
leave when she got there at 6:45, I left.
Okay.
And she was there with Nathan and Lee.
And she makes sure that Nate gets to school, and she takes Lee to the daycare center. Okay. Obviously, that got done. And then between you get to work at 7, and that's when you were working at
Potbelly.
Potbelly. And you got off work what time?
It was before 2.
It is important to stitch together Juan's story so far to form one cohesive timeline. Sometime after 1 a.m. on May 11th, Kathy Lujan left for her 2 a.m. shift working at HEB, specifically in the bakery department. Although her shift was supposed to last until 10:30 a.m., she often got off from work early. On this day, she returned home by 6:45 a.m. to pick up the kids, Nate and Lee, for school. She did this because Juan had a shift working at Potbelly from 7 a.m. to sometime after noon. If he was the one to drop the kids, then he couldn't make it in time for his job. So, as usual, Juan left for work. But on this Wednesday, he had a special task after getting off work. Juan had given a friend, Brian, a hot check for $180. A hot check is a bad check drawn on funds that don't exist. Naturally, to avoid legal trouble, Juan had to withdraw the money from a bank and pay Brian.
Tell me about Brian.
He's from Tobacco Alley.
And you owed him money?
Yeah, for a hot check. I remember I told you that.
And did you write it or she write it?
No, I wrote it.
Did you buy cigarettes or what did you buy with the hot check?
No, I just wrote a check to cash it. 'Cause
Okay.
he cashes checks there.
Did you know it was going to be a hot check? Or
Yeah,
did-
but Kathy and I used to do that a lot because we knew the next day either she was getting paid or I was getting paid and the money was going to go into the account.
So by the time the check processes through the system, there would be money in the account. Okay. How much did you write that check for?
180.
Okay. Is that the only check you wrote? Okay. And then that's why you told her you were going to pay Brian at the Tobacco Alley.
Well, I told
And
her
then-
I told her that, but then later, remember that day when you were at the house? I showed you you saw the text where I tell her I paid Brian already.
Right. And then she wanted the $180. Is that the money that was used to pay Brian, or is that something else?
No, that was something else. I gave her that money
Okay, you gave her back that money. When did you give it back to her?
when I saw her at the house that afternoon,
Okay.
when she got off work.
Although Juan makes this entire situation surrounding the $180 sound as cordial as possible, it is actually quite the opposite. He initially stole the $180 from Kathy and only went to a bank to pay her back. Tensions were already high. Even when first responders initially responded to the missing persons report and visited Juan's home, he showed them a series of concerning text messages regarding this situation.
Are those your texts with her?
Let's see, Wednesday, 6:31.
Can I see it?
You can read them all.
Yeah. Okay, Wednesday, 6:31 a.m. You're going to be the one in blue, and she's the one in red? Okay, you call her C.
Yeah.
Okay. Why all of a sudden did you want to pick up Lee? And she goes, I couldn't remember what was said about it because I was pissed. Do I need to or not? And you said yes. And that's Wednesday about 6:31 a.m. Well, I need at least the $180 that you took from my purse. My suggestion to you is to go put in truck and lock it up, and I will go by and pick up. About 9:07 a.m. she texts, I was calling to see if you got my message. You didn't respond. Don't leave work to bring it to me because I don't want her getting mad.
My boss. She was talking
Okay.
about my boss.
Wait. I went way too fast. And then you responded, you responded? Who's getting mad? She said your boss. Okay, then she's, about 11:44 a.m. she texts you, are you still there? And you text her, are you going to keep not talking to me? I paid Brian, we are in the same house and you won't talk to me.
Clearly, the two of them already had friction building up between them because of this incident, and this disagreement was about to explode into a full-blown argument once Juan got home.
And then when you get there, you give her the $180, correct? Okay, and then what happened after the $180?
Well, no, when I got there, I was walking up, and remember I told you she was on the phone. I could
Right.
hear her on the phone through the window. When I walked in, she tossed the phone, and I was like, who you on the phone with, you know? And she was like, nobody, you know, and I was, you know, we started, you know, talking again, you know, about what she's been doing because it had been awkward in the house because she doesn't talk to us. She doesn't want to do anything with the boys anymore. The next 2 days she was supposed to be off. So I guess maybe she was making plans or something. Anyway, I gave her the money. Gave her the money, and we got to talking, and then she was like, I said, I know you're, you know, sleeping around, you know. I mean, it hadn't been a secret, Rosie. I've been knowing for a while,
Yeah.
you know. And so I hated it when we'd walk in or we'd see each other and she's acting like she has to hide something. Everybody around us knew that she was changing, you know, from her when she started losing all her weight. So anyway, she went to the room. I was in the kitchen for about 30 minutes and she comes out and she's like, all right, look, this is what it is. I'm just going to go ahead and let you know. And she gives me the phone. And I start, you know, going through the text, and, you know, after that, she was like, I'm just going to leave for a while, and I'll come back when I'm ready to talk about this, you know. So I winded up leaving before her, though, at 3:30 to get the kids.
Exactly 3:30. It's funny that Juan specifically mentions this time because according to a police report, it was when Kathy was reported missing. And even after she allegedly went missing, Juan tried to keep in touch with her, only to receive cryptic replies.
It was Thursday night. It was Thursday, I think. When I texted her to see if she was going to come home, she said, just leave. I texted her something. I remember at one point I texted her, she said, leave me alone. Then the next time I texted her, I was like, are you going to come home tonight? She says, I'm staying with a friend. And I said, with who? Carmel.
Right.
And she said, that's not any of your business.
Right.
And that's the last time I ever heard from her, because it was Thursday, because then Friday, texting her, she wouldn't answer the phone. Then tried to call her and the phone was off.
This text that Juan received from Kathy was the most important piece of information in the entire investigation, as it meant her phone was turned on and receiving service. Using Kathy's phone carrier, Verizon, detectives were able to approximate her cell phone's location. This is done using a technique called cell tower triangulation, where a device's connection to surrounding towers is used to pin down its location. Although this only gives investigators a general approximation, what they discovered was shocking. Kathy's phone wasn't in some distant town or jungle. It pinged back from her own home, leaving only one suspect, Juan Gonzalez. This means he was hiding something incredibly important, and to uncover what that was, the detective amped up the pressure. So much so that Juan resorted to using a nickname basis with Detective Rosie to win over some favor.
I've listened because I want to make sure I got everything right. And I've listened to everything you said. I have some problems with some things I need to get cleared up. But there's some issues that I'm having with what you're telling me. I told you that I downloaded your phone to get those messages. But I'm going to tell you, I got a search warrant also for your phone through Verizon. And I got all your information from Verizon. I did the same thing to her phone. I don't have her phone physically, but I did a search warrant, and I got all the information from her cell phone. Well, as I'm going through her phones and stuff, there's a phone that she had a lot of conversations with Chachi, and so did you. And there's a particular one, which I'm not quite understanding, is on Friday the 13th. She's gone, and you have her phone and your phone.
No, I didn't have her phone. I had been on the computer, and this is something else I was going to tell you. Here recently, somebody changed the password to the computer. I can't even get on the computer to log on to see what our bill is. I saw that Chachi had called Kathy's phone. You can see this stuff through the computer, like when incoming call stuff come. So I know she had been talking to Chachi a lot because he thought that I had stole his roommate's gun, or his gun, whoever's gun it was, one night when I was over there. So I texted him that Kat was asleep, and then texted him from, you can do this, because when I used to work with the DEA, and I would take Kat's phone with me, like when mine was dead, or take both phones, she would text me to the phone through the computer. She taught me how to do this. That's how I texted Chachi. I didn't have Kat's phone. I don't have Kat's phone.
Okay, first of all, the stuff I got didn't come from the computer. It came from Verizon, and it came from her cell phone. I'm going to tell you, he called Kathy, and you knew he called Kathy.
Through the computer?
Not through the computer, no, sir. Not through the computer.
Well, I don't know, Rosie, but I don't have Kat's phone.
You had it that day, and you know what else I know? When we did the search warrant, I did it for the cell site towers, and it shows to be at your house. Your phone is there, and her phone is there, all the way up to the 13th.
I've had my phone, and that's it.
Her phone is there as well. And I'm trying to find an explanation why her phone was at your house after she left on the 11th.
I don't know. Y'all searched the house, or y'all can search it again. There's no phone there.
After the 13th, I'm sure it's not there now, but I'm telling you, it was there up to the 13th. And that phone, those things come from the phone. It doesn't come from the computer. And it's showing at your house. Even when you went to Dino's Pizzeria, you had your phone, and her phone was there along with yours. Because I was able to follow you.
I understand all that, but I didn't have her phone.
The satellites and cell towers must certainly be lying if Juan is so adamant that he didn't have her phone. Detectives should probably interrogate them instead. But even if he denies irrefutable facts, it is only one of the many pieces of evidence that detectives have stacked against him.
You say you've been watching my cell phone?
I did a search warrant from that day.
Where would I have taken her?
Well, like I told you, did you hurt her?
Nope.
Did you kill her?
Nope.
Did she attack you?
Nope.
Were you defending yourself?
Nope.
Did she commit?
I don't know.
Did she commit at the house?
Nope.
Well, she never left the house. Someone talked, and no one else. It was just you and her at the house.
I understand what you're saying, Rosie, but when I left and we got back, she was gone.
When you left in her car. When you went to go pay, you say you went to Skipper's and you were in her car. When you went to go pay Tobacco Alley, you were in her car.
Yeah,
when you went to the bank, you were in her car. And you hadn't gotten home yet. Because you went to Skipper's first, and you said you paid Tobacco Alley first before you went home. How did you have the car? You went to Skipper or whatever. How did you have the car?
When I got home, that's why I'm telling you, I couldn't remember. I think I might have been in the car that day because I remember at the bank.
But you said that when you did all of that before you went home to talk to her, she had the car. I have her at the car. leaving HEB. There's no way you had the car.
Although confusing, what the detective is trying to explain here is a major flaw in Juan's story. Initially, he claimed that he went to work using Kathy's car, but this didn't make sense. Surveillance cameras in the area clearly captured that once Kathy returned home at 6:45 a.m., her vehicle never left the house afterwards. So if Juan left at 7 a.m., he couldn't have taken her car. Now, once again, he has been caught in a web of lies he's spun, and very soon, he will break under the pressure.
I didn't do anything to Kathy. I don't know where she's at. I didn't dump her body nowhere like you're saying. Just, I didn't do anything to her.
What do you think should happen to a person that did something like that to her?
They should have to pay.
Pay like hell.
I don't know, to go to jail, go to prison.
What are you more scared of right now?
I'm not scared of anything. I didn't do anything. I don't have anything to hide. Why would I be scared?
Because something happened to Kathy and you did it.
No. Didn't do anything. You're gonna sit here and stare at me all day?
I was saying, you're going to tell me.
I don't have anything to say. There's nothing to tell you. I keep telling you that. There's nothing for me to tell you.
With Juan's frustration at Detective Rodriguez reaching a boiling point, she decides to step out before this interview devolves into an argument. Whether she did a good job or not is up to you to decide, but she did play one hell of a bad cop. Now it's time to switch up the dynamics of this interview completely, as good cop, Detective Mitch, decides to take over.
I'm going to step out for a little bit and I'll be right back.
Yeah, round 2.
Whatever.
Can I talk to him for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
Mitch, don't even start, dude.
Just settle down.
Oh, man.
Listen, I'm going to tell you straight up, looking at you, I don't think you did anything.
Well, do you know, like, why is she
Relax.
just drilling me like
Yeah,
that?
because that's her job.
I know, but
That's her job. And they're trying to figure out what happened. The only thing that bothers me is I don't think you did anything to her. I've known you for a long time, and I watch how you act, and I've talked to you a bunch of times. But I'm telling you, something happened. I don't think you did anything to her. But I think you know where she's at.
I don't know.
Hang on. And the reason, and I'm not going to bang you up, and I'll just get out of here and leave in a minute. But here's the deal. Why I think that is because I've known you for a while. I've known you for a long time. I've helped you out. I've always been straight up with you. I'm not going to blow smoke at you and all that stuff. I don't think you did anything. But I think something happened that you're not involved in, and like if she did something to herself or something happened, and I think because of your feelings for your kids and all that stuff, that you might have not wanted them to see it, and you might have moved something. And the only reason I'm saying that is because I can look in your eyes and tell I don't think you did anything. I've known you for a long time, but I know you know where she's at.
I don't know where she's at, Mitch. Those are games, too.
No, I'm not playing a game with you.
You're telling me that you don't believe I did something to her, so I can go ahead and tell you, yeah, okay.
No. I believe that because the way you looked at her when you were answering her. I'm just going to tell you, the way you looked at her when you're answering her, when you said I didn't do anything, it was a very, very good answer. But when she said, did she do something to herself, and you adamantly said I did not do anything to her, I'm just telling you, I've watched you for a long time. I've interviewed you on other things, so I know how. And I know how much you like. I mean, your relationship with your kids. I watch. I've seen you at school. I've seen you take your kids to school, so I know all that stuff. And I'm not going to play games with you. And I'll get out of here and leave in just a minute. But I'm just telling you, you're going to have to step up for their sake. And if you didn't do it, you know who. I'm not saying did anything criminal to her. I'm not saying any of that happened because I don't know. I'm just saying I believe that. For whatever reason, people make strange decisions under stress, that somebody thought it was a better idea that A to happen as opposed to B. Basically, they think you have her phone. And you're saying you don't.
I don't have her
You don't
phone.
have. Have you ever had it?
Just when we're at home and we would before.
No, I'm talking about since this time. Have you had her phone at any time?
No.
Because you know that phone stuff is what we do, and so I'm going to tell you that it's going to ping where it pings. I mean, it's going to be where it's at, where these GPS coordinates say it's at, and it's going to say it's at your house at the same time as your phone is. Okay, and then there's a text message with you and this whoever Chachi is about her being asleep.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Well, and obviously she wasn't asleep. Why'd you say that?
I said I did it off of the computer because I wanted to know what they were talking about.
Yeah, well, the problem, I'm going to tell you, and I'll give you this right here. I can tell you it wasn't from the computer. And I mean, I'm being honest with you. I can tell you it's not on the computer because if you would have sent it from your computer, the UTC code, the timestamp, would have been different because it would have been where you're sitting, not where Verizon is on their phone.
Phone carriers often record the times of devices on their network in UTC format for the sake of efficiently storing data. Computers, on the other hand, only take a user's local time into account. This means that 5 p.m. in Midland, Texas would be recorded as 10 p.m. UTC by a phone carrier during standard time, while a computer would simply record it as 5 p.m. Central Time. A discrepancy like this is the exact reason why Juan has just been caught lying once more.
You did not send this text message from a computer. It was sent from a device. And the reason I know that is because of this universal time code. Okay? Can't be sent from the computer because your computer is sitting in the central standard time zone because that's where you're at. You know, it tells you the time where you're at on your computer. Okay? The phone companies use what's the old Greenwich Mean Time, but now it's called Universal Time Code. So looking at what they got from their search warrant, this came from her device.
But I didn't send that text
Okay.
message.
Well, then
I mean, I know what that says.
you said she was asleep, and you said, hey, you knew she got a text.
Yeah, through the computer.
No, you didn't, because look,
Computer.
I'm telling you, it came through her device. You saw her phone. You saw this message on her phone. So, man, I can't get you past that. I mean, I'll take up for you all I can, but I can't get you past that.
I understand.
And so I know you had her phone. And that's not helping you. You're probably making this a whole lot worse. It's bad, don't get me wrong, not for you, but I'm talking about the situation. You're probably making it a whole lot worse than if you just told what happened.
Nothing happened
Okay.
between me and Kat.
I didn't say it did between you and her, but the situation happened. Something happened that you ended up with her phone and texting back and forth with people. That, whether it may be completely righteous, that doesn't look good. And now that you've lied about it, you've got to get in front of it. Because this, I'm going to tell you, I'm a nuts and bolts dude, and you cannot, like I said, I believe you. I believe you didn't do anything. But you can't get past this is black and white. And so I know you used her phone. I mean, like I said, you do what you think you need to do, but you used her phone. And I know you're pissed off at the way they treated you and the way the cops acted toward you. I understand all that. But you're not going to get past this. It's not getting passable. You can say whatever you want to say, and they'll either believe you or you don't. But this, you cannot get past it.
I don't know, Mitch. But I know I didn't do anything to my wife, man, and Rosie's just adamant.
And that's fine. You tell me what happened then.
Nothing happened.
Okay, nothing
between
happened
us.
between you. You keep saying that, and I believe you.
I didn't get home and find Kathy dead or anything like that.
Okay, then what happened? You know she just didn't run off. Come on, dude. Y'all have had troubles before. You told y'all separated 7 years ago. You've been together, what, 12, 14 years?
Like 19,
Yeah,
almost 20.
19, 20 years. There's bumps in the road, and she may have been going on her way, but you know things don't end like that. This is not TV, just like you said. It's not a movie. I can't tell you everything I did, but you know it also don't end like a movie. You got to tell, because you got an idea. You may not have done anything. And again, I'm going to tell you, sit right here and tell you 100% the truth. I don't believe you did anything to her. And I'm looking you man to man, eye to eye. But you better be able to figure out this situation, because you're not going to get past this. The phones are at the same location when the message was sent.
Regardless, Mitch, if I tell you I had her phone or I don't tell you I have her phone,
I know you didn't do anything to her. I
no,
got you.
but still, that's not what I'm getting at. Rosie's going to put me in jail today regardless.
Oh, I don't think so, but I don't know anything about that. But what I'm saying is, you're not going to get past this. And you know I'm going to straight up shoot with you. I mean, that's just all it is. You had her phone. For whatever reason you had her phone, I don't know. And nobody will know unless you tell them. They may believe you and they may not. But at least you're going to tell your side of the story. Because right now, your side of the story ain't getting told.
Credit where credit is due, Juan has not budged from his story at all, despite being caught lying several times. He just plays it off as a lapse in his memory or attributes any mistakes to being panicked. And his incredible acting will only get better from here.
I'll get you past a bunch of this, but I can't get you past having her phone unless you tell them why you have her phone and where the hell the phone is.
I don't know where the phone's at, Mitch.
Okay, where was it the last time you saw it?
When she had it on the 11th.
Dude, this text message is on the 13th, okay? And I mean, I'm all with you, except you're not going to get past this. I'm sorry. It just is what it is. That's what we do. They don't do so much of that. I do this all the time. These phones. I do it every single day. And I'm telling you, you're not getting past these right here are from your phone and her phone. They're close in proximity, and based on the GPS coordinates, they're at the same place. I can't get you past it. I mean, I can show you the science of it. I can show you the...
I don't need to see all that.
I mean, you probably know more about it than I do.
Nah, I don't know nothing about all that. Where's Rosie? I need to ask her if I need to call my friend.
Well, she's mad at you. I mean, you're mad at her. She thinks you're mad at
Damn
her.
right, I'm mad at her. She's been treating me like crap since day one and lying to me.
But think about it. You put yourself in this situation. And I don't know all the facts, so don't get me. I'm not even going to talk about them because I don't know all the facts. But whatever the facts they got, they believe something happened. And they believe you had something to do with it. So if you were over here and you believe something happened, what would you be doing?
I'd be trying to
The
get someone
same
to tell me the
thing.
truth. Yeah.
Same
But
thing. So, but you can't take it personal, and I realize that's not possible. I got you. It's not possible. I realize. But you can't take it personal that everybody's got their own beliefs. You have your own beliefs.
she's had it like that since day one when Kathy's dad told her what he told her, because that man ain't ever like, you can't milk a cow that ain't for milking. You know, if
Yeah,
you got
I got
titties,
you.
you know? And she's adamant that I did something to Kat and I didn't, man.
Okay, that's great.
We've been through way worse things than that, Mitch, and I didn't. Never. And so what if she was telling people she was done with me? That's been said before too, and
Yeah,
we
I know.
stayed together.
Oh, exactly. It happens every day. I mean, it happens every day. Probably multiple times. And like I said, I believe you didn't do anything to her. But I can't get you past some of the hard evidence that they're going to use, unless they got a better explanation, they're going to use to make you look bad. Unless you got a better explanation. I mean, I went and looked at the actual return from Verizon. Okay? I looked at both phones' cell phone coordinates, the timestamp between the text that was happened before and the text, because obviously I knew when she texted you at some point and you text her, you weren't at the same place. When she says, I'm at work, and I checked the universal timestamp on that to where it shows it's coming from to your house. To your work at Potbelly or whatever that is, and they're in different places. So it shows. So when these two are this close together, but both phones are in the same place, man, that's bought and paid for. I can't fix it, and I can't change it. That is what it is. So, you know, all I can tell you is this is going to look real bad unless you have an explanation of why it happened. A reasonable explanation of why it happened. And I can tell you, and you know it as well as I do, for whatever reason, she may have been gone, but you're texting on her phone. And I don't blame you. I'd have been trying to find out what was going on too.
Look, Mitch, I'm going to tell you this, but I know it's just going to lead to something else. So,
okay,
you know, she's going to be, and I know they're listening. Whoever,
oh yeah, you know that.
It's going to lead to, okay, well, if you're lying about this, then what else are you lying about?
That's right. It will. Hang on. It will. Except at least you will have a voice in this. Because right now, you do not have a voice in
Okay,
this.
look, the day she gave me the phone,
Okay.
I took off with it.
All right.
When I left to go pay Brian and pick up the boys, I left with the phone and wouldn't give it back to her
Okay.
and left the house.
Okay.
So when we got back and she was gone, I figured either she went to her dad's or Carmel picked her up.
So you're saying that she had her phone. When she showed you the text messages, you took it.
Yeah, I took the phone and left.
Yeah, I would have too. So you left, but once you come back, she's gone.
Yeah.
Okay, where's the phone?
I had it.
I know, but where is it at now?
It's probably in the house somewhere. Lee's been playing with it because it has games on it.
Okay. You need to get that and let them have it. Because then you can at least, they can look at it and see that there's not a bunch of other bad shit going on it. And you have your voice in it. Okay? So, like I said, and you know as well as I do, yeah, it'll come up. Well, if you lied about that, what else you lied about? I'm going to tell you, I don't believe you did anything. But just like I told you, you're going to have to man up at some point. If there is something, I'm not talking about you doing anything criminal, but if for people get messed up in the brain and you think, man, I'm going to get in trouble, the kids, I'm going to lose my kids, all that stuff can happen. And if I move and take this, maybe she went out and she committed suicide or whatever. Or you found her that way and you moved her.
I'm not talking smack about my wife. That's a big girl, Mitch. I got a bad back. I can't pick up a lot of stuff.
All right.
You know, there's if something like that had happened, there's no way I could have picked her up by myself.
Okay. Did anybody help you?
No.
Okay. Well,
No.
there you go. See, now you got some stuff that you can try to work. What do you think happened?
Honestly, she was it's like I told Rosie yesterday when I was letting her see my phone about stuff. Here lately, Kat, she's gone through a lot of changes, Mitch. She won't talk to me. She'll tell her friends all kinds of stuff like this shit. If something happens to me, it wasn't an accident. It was Juan. I don't believe that for 1 minute.
It doesn't matter whether Juan believed it or not because Kathy's fears were grounded in reality. Prior to this incident, Juan Gonzalez went to jail for hitting Kathy. Not only that, but long before she even thought of cheating on him, it was actually Juan who sought partners outside of his marriage. So placing the blame on Kathy for driving their marriage into the ground is self-serving, and only done to twist the narrative to make it seem like he was an honest husband suffering at the hands of a cheating wife.
I want you to look me right in the eye, and I'm going to ask you 2 questions. Did you do anything to your wife?
No, sir, I didn't.
If you didn't, did you find her when she had done something to herself?
No. I don't, and if she had done something to herself, I don't believe she would have done it right there in the house for us to find her. She knew I was going to get the kids. Why would she want the kids to see something like that?
Okay. So after she's gone, and you know she's left before and walked around or gone wherever, and she shows back up in a certain amount of time. At some point, you start wondering, well, obviously all this stuff about you calling her and texting her, why were you doing that?
Because I wanted to see where she was at. Or
The problem
maybe
is you had her phone.
I know. But I was texting these people because I wanted it to be like, okay, well, Kat, you're here with us. Who's got your phone?
Okay. So you were texting people acting like you were her, to try to get people to say, who the hell is this? Okay. To see if you could figure out where she was at. Anybody in particular that you had an idea that she might go to?
Just those two guys that she was fooling around with in Carmel.
Who's Carmel?
Carmel Wynn. Her sister's, or I guess it's her sister, y'all. Crystal's married to Dimitri, a police officer, black guy.
Yeah,
Here.
I don't have any idea.
Anyway, it's her best friend. It's supposed to be her best friend.
Okay. So you thought, but you've talked to her since. So obviously she doesn't know where she's at, or you don't believe she knows where she's at.
No, she just told me. I don't believe anything that comes out of that girl's mouth.
Okay. Well, let me go check on this, and I'll get another detective. Somebody, I don't know who brought you up here. So.
Melendez or Mendez, something like that.
All right. Well, hang on just 1 second. You need another drink, or you good?
Yeah, I'll take another one.
Good luck. Shit.
After Detective Mitch leaves, Juan's interview concludes as he spends some time talking to a friend on the phone. At this point, detectives didn't have enough grounds to charge him for Kathy's disappearance, but they were able to arrest him for his credit card abuse as he drained Kathy's accounts. Oddly enough, Juan would request to talk a month later, specifically with the detective he hated the most, Detective Rosie.
Okay, are you willing to talk to me about Kathy? And I know you're the one that requested to speak to me in regards to Kathy. So, what did you want to talk to me about her?
I just wanted to know if y'all found anything out.
Yeah, we found some stuff in the investigation, yes. And stuff that I need to get cleared with you because there's some discrepancies of what you told me than what I'm finding out. Are you willing to talk to me and try to get that discrepancies cleared up?
Okay.
For a long time, an awfully long time, Juan recounts the exact alibi he stated a month earlier with almost no changes. This raises several questions. If he had no intent to spill the beans, why did he arrange this meeting? What is he planning, and what is his hidden motive for wanting to speak? These questions could only be answered if detectives played along, raising the stakes high enough that Juan would have no choice but to reveal what he was thinking.
And there's no doubt that you did something to her.
I didn't do anything to her, Rosie.
She's not going to leave all her belongings. She's not going to leave her clothes. She's not going to leave her driver's license. She's not going to leave her social security, her checks, her credit cards, her debit card behind. She's not going to leave that. She's not, and her phone, she has nowhere to go. She was there.
I don't know, Rosie. As far as that, I didn't do anything to Kat. We've been through way worse stuff than that. Anybody that knows
But
us
this
will tell you
time
that.
it was worse than ever because she was done with you. She was kicking you out of the house.
She wasn't kicking me out. That never came out of her mouth, and if it had, I didn't know about it. She must have told somebody else. She never told me anything like that. And if it was like that, if she wanted me gone that bad, she knew at any time she could go to her dad's.
She was going. You were out, not her, out of the house.
What I'm saying is, if she wanted me out, she knows I ain't got anywhere to go. She would have gone to her dad's.
She let you stay there for that reason, because you had nowhere to go. And she needed you to take care of the kids, so when she goes at 2 o'clock in the morning to work, the kids wouldn't be by themselves.
Oh, because she was here lately. She had never been around for the kids.
Everyone says different.
No, everyone did.
I know. Now, I'm not saying you're a bad father, because you've always been there for them, but she was the provider. She's always been for the kids, because she's always been the provider.
Listen. She's going to go on what the evidence is, whatever that may be, okay? You know what it is as well as anybody. I mean, I don't know. If it's her DNA in the car, you're not going to be able to come up with a reasonable explanation of that. You started off this whole deal bad by lying to him to begin with. That doesn't look good for you, okay? So whatever it may be, you have those humps that you're going to have to overcome if you didn't do it. But here's the problem, is that you know as well as I do, it's basically a puzzle. And all these pieces are falling against you, not for you. And I don't care what anybody else said about what you and her said to each other, because that, to me, that doesn't make much difference. The bottom line is there's physical evidence and forensic evidence that you're not going to be able to explain. I can't explain it. So if something happened and it wasn't the way they're going to make it seem, if it's not the way that they're going to portray it, you better portray it the way it happened. Because I'm going to tell you, you know how the system works. And you don't have a shot. You know that if you don't come up with some definitive evidence, regardless of what all that stuff says, you don't have a shot. So please, if there's an alternative portrayal of this, then you better provide it. If something off the cuff happens, something bad, something whatever, it is what it is. That's not going to change anything. What's going to change stuff is how people are going to look at you, how prosecutors are going to look at you, and how jurors are going to look at you. If the family and people that are involved in this get some type of closure. Because that's not going to happen. That's not going to stop you from going to prison. Or worse. So please, if there's an alternative to this, tell her. Let's get her found and let's get her back so you can deal with what you need to deal with, her family can deal with what they need to deal with. Because it's not going to get any better for you unless you make those steps to mitigate have some remorse if something happens. Have some feelings if something happens. There's a lot of things that play into that. But you're not going to get any benefit of that unless you step forward and help her find and tell us where she's at. Then you can start healing yourself. Because it's not going to happen. And it's not going to change the outcome. It'll better the outcome if you step up and do the right thing. But it's not going to change the outcome if you don't. So please, do the right thing. And it is what it is. We're to the end of this. You're fixing to either fall off the mountain or start working your way back up. That's it. That's where we're at. So I'm telling you, as somebody that don't believe you're that bad a guy, you've made some mistakes, but for somebody that really doesn't believe, knowing you as long as I've known you, that you're not that bad a guy, please do the right thing. And let's finish this. All it's doing is stringing out. Don't make that happen anymore. You can stop a lot of the pain. But you gotta man up. Mistakes are made. Fix it. Just tell us where she's at.
I don't know where she's at, Mitch. I don't know where she's at. I don't know where she's
Then
at.
who does?
I don't know, Mitch.
Look at what you're looking at. Look at the evidence. Just look at the evidence.
I don't know what the evidence
I'm
is.
telling you. There's her blood in the car. Your initial lies. And she hasn't turned up.
The way Mitch talked to me about you, it would be something that wouldn't happen. Like you didn't wake up that morning intentionally, and you had all of this drawn-out plan to kill her. He said you're not a cold-blooded killer. And if Mitch tells me that, I believe Mitch. And that's what Mitch said, that you're not a cold-blooded killer. But with something that happened, like an accident, something else, and this is the time for us to know, because this time is going to help you, and we can start understanding what's going on. But if Mitch tells me you're not a cold-blooded killer, then you're not. And that's what he said.
I'm not a killer, period.
Maybe she did something to herself. And you didn't think anybody would believe you. So you tried to make it like she ran off. That's in my mind, when they started talking about it, that's what I believed. It got stressful for her. She did something to herself. You stumbled into it. Then you think, nobody's going to believe me. I'm on federal probation. We've been having troubles. All this stuff. So I'm stuck. What am I going to do? I've got to try to make it look like she disappeared. Ran off on her own.
The shocked expression, the tears welling up, and the body language screaming, "I'm a remorseful husband," are in reality all an act. Because Juan set up this meeting for only one purpose, a purpose that will finally reveal itself in these last few minutes.
I didn't do anything to Kat.
Okay?
Freaking pills, wasn't it?
I don't know what it was, Rosie. I just know that I told her that dated. Like, why did she wait till she was 41 years old to do what she was doing? You know, I had quit drinking for her. I quit the music business for her. After the first time I got in trouble when I met Mitch, and then, you know, I promised that I would never go back like a lot of these dope dealers do.
And you haven't.
And I told her that she was stupid, you know, how could she do this to the kids, you know, and I don't know, I talked pretty bad to her that day.
Hey, listen, it's not your fault if she did something to herself. People do strange things.
I don't know what she did to herself.
Okay? Okay, so what happened?
All I know is I left the house that day and she came out after me into the front yard and was yelling at me that, because I told her that I'd rather be gone with the kids than to see her do this to all three of us. You know, Nathan, I told Nathan straight up the day before that I thought his mom was really cheating, you know, and because Nathan could tell stuff was going on, you know, and asking questions, and I didn't want to lie to him.
He's a smart boy.
And you've done a good job raising him.
Huh?
You've done a good job raising him.
Anyway, when I was leaving, she says, I told her, you need to just go to your dad. I don't want to see you when I come back. And I said, remember how you used to talk down to me and that I was a piece of shit, you know, when I was doing the stuff I was doing? I said, well, you're a f***ing piece of shit, you know. And,
Just breaking up the family.
and I told her that. Anyway, when I got back home, I had gone to go to the bank and pay Brian. I mean, I don't know if she took all those pills, Rosie. I mean, only...
I saw those bottles right there and they were empty.
Yeah, but I don't know when she was taking those pills or whatever.
So you got home.
I got home and she was laying on the kitchen. On the kitchen floor between the stove and the refrigerator.
I mean, was she like bleeding or she just laying there?
Like passed out.
She was laying down face first. I turned her over and she had a cut right here. That's how I found her.
So then what happened?
You panicked.
I panicked because I'm on federal paper and my record, you know, and
It's understandable.
the kids.
We got to hold it together for just a little bit more. So you put her in the car?
No, I put her in the truck. It took me a while because of my back and my leg. And the whole time I was just mad, like, what did you do? What did you do? You know, and because when I told her she was a piece of shit, she was like, when I got busted back in 2010 or whatever, I told her I'd just rather be dead. Cause she was mad about everything. And I told her, well, I should just, you know, myself. And she says, well, if I'm a piece of shit, then I don't deserve to be with you. She was mad at herself, just like I told you Carmel told me that she had been mad at herself. And I don't know if she took pills or what she did. And
So you put her in the truck, and where did you take her?
I wrapped her up in some blankets and I took her up there on, what is that highway going towards San Angelo?
What, 158? Okay.
There's a bunch of pump jack derricks out there, and there's a ravine or something, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do with her.
Okay, did you just like lay her down out there?
Yeah.
Okay, how far off the roadway is it?
I don't even know the name of the road. It's
Like 1379? How far out is it?
Man, it's a pretty good ways out there. It's where Pioneer was drilling out there.
Okay.
You take her pillows also to make her comfortable.
Yeah.
Thought so.
All right, well, this is what we're going to do, okay? You're going to smoke you a cigarette and drink you some Coke. And then we're going to load you up in a car and you're going to take us, okay?
All right.
Every single second of this entire confession you just saw was a rehearsed act. An act that had Juan's mental cogs turning the entire month he was in a jail cell. When detectives found the body, it was far from what Juan Gonzalez described. Strangulation marks covered her neck. Kathy didn't take her life. Her life was taken. It was true that Kathy was cheating, and it was true that they argued when Juan came home to give her the money. But by mixing lies with the truth, Juan painted a completely false narrative. In reality, that fight over money and infidelity led to Juan losing control, mounting Kathy and strangling her to death in a fit of rage. The only possible out that Juan had was to pretend that Kathy took her own life. Unfortunately, his plan failed catastrophically. Juan went on to admit to strangling Kathy in his trial. Ultimately, a Midland County jury sentenced 45-year-old Juan Gonzalez to life in prison for murder and tampering with evidence.